Well, it is 7:07. We have a small class. Susan's not coming. Doris is not coming. Janice will see. I don't want to go nagger. So who has stuff to show? Everybody. All right. Let's start with, and one other issue. We tried to improve the sound last week. Did anybody notice? Did anybody notice whether the sound improved last week?
There wasn't a lot of feedback. I
Right.
noticed that.
Very
And-
clear now.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say that right now it seems to be fine.
Oh, very clear.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's always hard to get Mike's voice. Mike, you have you're either, how far are you from the microphone?
About maybe 15, 18 inches, something like that.
That's about what I am.
Mike has a very soft voice and he is having some issues with his voice. It kind of gets softer as the day goes on. We're trying to look into that.
Ah,
And that's not a joke. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
Oh, I was going to make a joke about his character, but that's okay.
okay, and Ron's here.
Yep.
All right. Well, and Janice here.
Oh, good. Good, good,
Hi,
good.
Janice.
I don't see her. Where is she?
She's
Oh, there
she's
she is.
gray screen now.
I got her. I got her. Yeah.
So our small group is starting to grow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not sure how. I do not want this group to grow like to twice the size it is.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy with it right now, but
Oh, we got another one.
And there's Kim.
There we
Yep.
go. The full house.
Hi, Kim.
Very good.
yes, I mentioned earlier that Doris and Susan are not going to be here. All right, so let's again. Who I bet Janice, Ron, and Kim. Do you have stuff to show?
Yes,
And
Okay,
Mike and
Kim
all.
does. All right, Yep.
Bob, can you hear me?
we
Yep.
can hear you. We can't see you.
Okay, because my Zoom closed down, it said I had to restart my entire computer. It's taken me about 20 minutes and I have to reload all my stuff that I'm gonna show you, so
Oh.
I
it's gonna
don't.
take me a little bit of time, so I'll be here, but I'm just trying to load my work. Sorry
Okay,
about
are you going to be able to listen to us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly. It's just
Okay.
everything got deleted, everything. And Microsoft came on, it has some new program it wants to do or something or other, and that's what happened. So it took a bit of time. I apologize.
Oh, we're glad you're here.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I'm just trying to find all that lovely work that I actually loaded earlier. Now I have to find it again.
I know,
Let me-
these things make my head explode.
Yeah, that's where I am right now, because it said 3 times, it said Zoom cannot open. You have to restart your entire computer, which is a big thing. So
Yeah.
sorry about that, guys. I really apologize. Let me just try and see what the heck I was even going to do. It's like erase my mind as well.
In the meantime, Andy and Ron are getting me hungry now. Watching.
Yeah,
Janice and I already ate. Let me do a quick factoid anecdote. I had family visit, and one of my relatives is a big computer muckety muck at the National Institute of Health. You know, they do the genome project and they do designing he's high level, and he supervises about 15 computer programmers. Anyway, so he knows a lot, and I was complaining to him about my computer troubles, and he said, well, you upgraded, don't upgrade,
Right, but they force you to.
you know.
They force you to. I mean, I was forced to close down my whole computer, and I'm starting from scratch again.
I mean,
Yeah, all my applications started screwing up. I had
Yeah.
upgrade. They force you to, you're right.
They force you to. It's not like you have a choice,
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a way to turn it off, but
Everybody here, come on now. It's all for the good. It's all for the good.
It'll make our life easier. Remember that, Thomas? Yeah.
Absolutely.
all right. Let's see. We haven't who haven't we heard from in a while? Well, let's start with Mike and Sarah.
gosh, I don't want to lose you. Ooh, I don't want to lose you with this. Oh,
Okay.
Lord God. Okay, I can't seem to make you big now. Let me see if I can make you big. Okay. So I am making you big, and I will open you up. Ah, well done. Okay, guys, I'm here.
Well, we don't see it.
We don't have
I
an
know,
image
I'm
of you.
sorry. I know, I apologize. I'm just trying to get myself together here. My head's exploding, as Janice says, when they do these things to you all of a
Yes.
sudden,
There you are.
things go
There
wrong.
she is. All right.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, so here I am. I'm in urban grunge mode today because that's my theme.
Urban what?
Grunge. Don't worry. I got the dictionary definition. It's a British slang term, but it is in the dictionary, so I will explain. So I'm wearing like a beanie hat or whatever, however you call it. And anyway, I'm in grunge mode.
We'll take you. We'll take you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very warm.
I mean, your classic white T-shirt. You can't get more grunge than that.
Well, I
Anyway,
have one
let's-
of those, Bob, and if it was warm, I would be wearing it.
Well, I'm a turtleneck person
Yeah,
personally.
me too,
Yes,
me too.
yes.
Usually I am. Yes, I too. In the winter, yes. Indeed. Sarah, you
All
don't have your beret, and I have my, whatever you call these hats.
And
Good, I feel much better now. Thank you, Sarah. I don't feel so
Bob,
alone.
you tell me when you want me to go.
yeah, it is 7:15. Yeah, let's start.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Now, as I'm pulling up as I'm going to pull it up, I will tell you, it has to do with small books. Some years ago, 2015, I was in a small book show where it's one piece of paper and it's folded and cut in a certain way. And then you put your pictures or your artwork on that. And Mike did that part for me on the computer. So what I'm showing today is from
Okay.
2015. And I have given them away as gifts, and it's really an interesting project. I also wanted to tell you that Theodore Roosevelt collected small books. There are so many different kinds, which I'm sure Neela knows about. And Theodore Roosevelt collected 750 small books, and they're on display. I'm not sure where. And then in the olden times, in a print shop, in order to get a job in a print shop, they either gave you an assignment or you had to create a small book as a way to show them that you had the skills required for the position. And one more fact that I learned was that they used to have real small, tiny Bible books that people would carry around with them. I'm not sure how people could read them, but I'm sure, anyhow, small books have been around forever and used in so many different ways. So now I'll show you.
That is,
There we go. Again, this is from 2015. And
Top one, last one.
oh, here, this is the cover.
All right, we see your screen.
Ah,
Ah,
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
And I guess what I was trying to represent when I created this book was different parts of my life or anyone's life. And most of the photographs, the mannequins had hats on. So I looked up the word hatitude, and this is called Hatitude One.
I like it.
And,
It's very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
The quote is very,
I made her my cover because she's one of my favorites. And then the saying, have already lost touch with a couple of people I used to be. And
yeah, that's so
That's great.
insightful.
Yeah.
Very
That is
insightful.
great.
yeah.
yes, which is
Nice
true.
nice choice of color, the text matching the lipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to know
And,
that.
and
Ted.
good choice of font, a
Yeah.
safe,
Very
readable
simple.
font.
So now is this it?
No, okay.
Wait a
That's
second.
it, that's it.
Now, this is some of the pages. Again, I arranged it all, and I'll turn around.
Oh, isn't that
Wow.
God,
interesting?
look at these.
Yeah,
Fun.
yes, very nice.
that
Very
is very cool.
beautiful. Oh my God.
And this is all one paper. And if you're interested in creating this, there are quite a few, two tutorials on YouTube on how to do this on one piece of paper and what you need to
Oh, yeah.
do. And so if you're interested, you can go there. And I don't really have labels on the other pages, but if you use your imagination, you can see this book, and I'll take this one down. Some of these images might be familiar to you and
Yes.
others not.
Well, they may
Very
be the
nice.
people
Very
that,
nice.
they may be the people that she used to be, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I like that. That's very
Very
clever.
nice.
Very clever, very erudite.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really good.
One second.
And I like the Statue of Liberty with her metal hat.
Yeah.
I think this one was the next one.
If you have the original files, you could make a Shutterfly book out of that.
Yes, now this one, this is it, the same one upside down.
Right.
Ah, interesting.
That's
What-
nice
I
to
think-
see, because it's hard to read all the images upside down.
Right.
I know.
Very,
Talk-
very,
Well,
very.
that's why I had my assistant put it in here this way. He's been wonderful. He did all this for me, and he's,
Wow,
I thought that was really nice.
that is very nice. You're lucky lady.
Mhm.
Last week, I used that, I hazarded the word craftsmanship, which in today's world is a tough word to use. I think there's incredible craftsmanship in these images. They're
Yeah, yeah.
beautiful
definitely.
and they're crafted beautifely. I really
Yeah, I
think,
think so, yeah.
yeah, that
A lot of thought went into each
Oh.
one,
absolutely.
and a lot of thought went into the grouping too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
yes.
yes,
They work
Like-
beautifully together.
yes.
Look, the one down on the bottom left-hand corner.
Left, I know, I like that one too.
Yeah.
O in the sign. And then it
Oh,
has,
yeah.
You know what? It's funny, Ron, I went for that one too. I thought that is very beautiful.
and the,
And
and
the one
the,
in the top
and the
left also.
and the reflection that makes sort of like shades, you know?
Yeah.
She's from a strip shop. She's from a strip shop, you know, where you get all the sexy clothes and ornaments.
Oh,
Right.
you meant it literally. I thought strip shop
Oh,
had
yeah.
something to do with something or other intellectual, but you mean it in the most basic sense.
Oh, yes,
Got it.
yes. Yeah, and you see that's our car reflected in it. Because I'm.
Oh,
out of the
right,
car.
right. No, I didn't see that, but now I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely.
That's up in Bucks County, and I got
Oh.
out of the court, yeah. I mean, so these are from 2015. I'm gonna take this down. I love The Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The witch
yeah.
is nice. Yeah, the witch is nice. It's a interesting counterpoint to all the beauty that we see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah, she was in a restaurant in a diner around Halloween time before that, and I had to have her.
We can see why. We can see
Yeah.
why. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they
I
all,
think the bride was from the strip shop too.
Wow.
a certain kind of bride, right? Yeah.
I didn't show
Oh,
the
right,
bottom part of her outfit.
right.
I didn't show the bottom part of her outfit.
An
Well, that-
impressive combination of the text. I've already lost touch.
With
And then the
people I
various
used to.
pictures.
Yeah.
It,
I
because
think
it
it's
all
great.
fits together.
It does. I agree.
It's beautiful.
It is
Thank you. Thank
very
you.
well, very well done.
Yeah,
Yes.
well done.
One in the second from the left on the bottom looks like Venice, maybe, or something, the Venice masks.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Venetian
okay.
masks.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I have quite a few like that. I think
Oh.
she's also from like a pornographic store.
Oh my God. So we need to broaden our horizons on this one, don't we? I'll have to
You have
remember
to
that.
look everywhere. You have to
Speak-
look
Speak for
everywhere.
yourself, Kim. Speak for
Sounds like-
yourself.
I'll tell you the truth. I didn't know that these pornographic stores had such beautiful images or models or whatever they are, mannequins or whatever, because I've never come across one.
It depends where you go.
Yeah, where do you go,
Yeah,
Sarah?
where do you go? I mean, I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything like this.
Ted, Janice, and I, we have one half block away.
Are you serious?
You're
Are you
right around the
telling
corner on
Yeah.
Walnut Street.
Well,
yeah.
what is it called? Is it called a strip club?
No, the
Oh,
pleasure
no,
chest.
no, no. No, paraphernalia. It's sex paraphernalia they sell there.
You're kidding me.
Is it the pleasure?
Well, do they
Is
look
it
like this?
Pleasure
Do the models-
chest, I think.
do
we
they
call
Pleasure
have
it.
models
chest.
like
Yeah, the
this in
pleasure
the
chest.
window?
Yeah.
Ted, are the models in the window like that then? The
No,
pink
no,
paraphernalia?
No, they're very conservative.
Right. Well,
At least until
up
you
in
go
the New Hope,
inside.
in the New Hope area, they do have models in the window, or they did then, in the Bucks County, New Hope.
I
you know,
cannot see
different
myself
places.
going into such an establishment with being a college professor. I'd probably be stripped of my status.
Well, right next door, or 2 doors down from there, is where they sell smoking stuff for marijuana, pipes and all that stuff.
Oh my
And they're
God.
both directly across the street from the Episcopalian Church, one of the oldest in Philadelphia. So
Oh my God.
they're not open on Sundays, probably, because of that church.
This is like 21st and something, is it?
21st and Walnut, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've been on 21st and Walnut many times. I've never seen such things.
Yeah.
If you
right
go
there.
I will have
downstairs,
to look
Kim,
more closely.
you have to go downstairs.
Yeah.
Here?
Why don't you give them the exact address and phone number?
Well, certainly this has expanded our horizons, Sarah. Thank you.
But I want to tell you, when you're an older woman with white hair, you
Yes.
can go anywhere, anywhere. Cover,
Is that true?
yes.
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
what my mother said. The stuff you
Yeah.
can get away with when you're an older woman is
Absolutely.
unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Well, I am an old woman. I'm not sure I can get away with anything.
My mother used to complain about her neighbors in the old folks' home who abused it. But they were always trying to get, special treatment.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
but you don't
Well,
really look old, Kim. All right, well, this is very nice.
thank you,
Thank you.
Sarah.
You can take that down. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Mike, for putting it together. I'm assuming you're the
Oh,
man
yeah.
she was referring to.
Absolutely. He does it all.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Turns out it was kind of titillating.
Yeah.
Watch your language, please.
Mike, do you have anything to show?
Yeah, sure. I have 3, and they're all taken through a window.
Okay,
The first 2 are taken from our living room. The first one is really nothing, special, but it was when the weather was about to change. It was just so beautiful that I just took a picture, and this is that.
We see your screen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's
I like
beautiful.
the colors. Yeah,
That-
Great.
And this is through a window, Mike. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, our living room window.
Oh my gosh. Aren't you lucky to have such a
Yeah.
nice view?
Yes.
mhm.
We certainly are. This was about a day or 2 before there were no more leaves.
Wow.
It
Ah,
got windy and colder and they were gone. But it was
Wow.
just, so beautiful. And I knew it was like a calendar picture, but it was just so pretty. I wanted a record of it.
Yeah, yeah. We still
and
have
the
leaves
second
here.
Yeah, and the second one I'll show you is from the same window of a twilight sky, and it's a time exposure.
Well, I don't think we've had a time exposure.
Oh, oh my, that's beautiful. That's a Neela shot. Oh my gosh, I love those. I
Beautiful.
love those.
Very nice.
I just love those shots.
yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Really.
the
Thank you,
essence of
Neela. I wish my
sunset.
software hadn't changed, but it has, my app.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Very
I'd be out there doing this stuff. I love those
Oh.
things.
Well
You
done.
can't get it anymore, Kim.
The app is there, but they did something to it that I can't use it anymore. In fact, they mentioned that people were complaining about the new version, and it's very irritating. But there you are. I'll have to try again, maybe. Maybe they fixed all the bugs. Used to be simple, really simple.
Well,
have
you'll
no
have
idea.
to talk to Mike because this is beautiful.
It is beautiful, Mike.
It
It's
is.
gorgeous. I love that.
This is in camera. This is
Nice.
atomic in camera. There's no post process.
Right, exactly. That's what happened with what I did. Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, it's lovely.
Title? Mike? Do you have a title?
And no title. The
Okay,
last one is
because I like your
is out-
titles.
Do you have a title for him, Janice?
I don't.
The last one is out
I left it all up to him.
Okay.
window.
All right. Oh,
Ah,
lovely.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, that would be nostalgia for me, because
Mhm.
I don't know when we can go to Paris again without dying.
well said.
I
Oh,
like
Mike.
that title.
I'm Why
Which
did you do
title?
it monochrome, Mike?
Well, pardon me?
Why did you do it black and white?
I had the original picture of the Eiffel Tower were in black and white.
I actually
Wow.
like it in black and white, Mike. I think it's very powerful that way, personally.
Yeah.
I added the window frame. And the window frame was actually in a cottage. And looking through the window, it was a garden filled with flowers.
Hmm.
So I just cut it all out and
Hmm.
just left the frame to give it some depth and let it fit into my trip.
It's a nice photo to begin with, you know, because you have the angles and the Eiffel Tower. It's
Mhm.
not generally how you see the Eiffel Tower presented when you're there. You kind of just approach it through a park.
Right.
So I think the photo is good, and I like the framing of it. It's very nice, Mike.
It's funny, Mark. I mean, Mike, I have my shot today will be of Paris also.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. My shots are urban grunge, so it'll be a nice counterweight to the, you know, beauty.
Ken, is that you on the bridge, Ken? I'm looking at it with a magnifying. Is that you on the bridge, Ken?
Yeah, it's me. I'm wondering why you did X, Y, and Z. We'll talk about it.
That's a very nice shot to actually. Mike.
Very
Lovely.
nice.
Lovely.
It is.
That's,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Something that
Thank
sticks
you.
with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's my
Thank you.
Nice.
Let's see, Neela, do you want to go?
Okay. I have one piece. There it goes.
Ah,
Beautiful.
It's another one of your
It's,
scissor,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think,
yeah.
you know, Matisse, I think we may have mentioned this, but again, I'm mentioning it again, is Matisse did all these cutouts, because I saw a documentary on Matisse, you know, when he was an old guy, he just got these pairs of scissors. He was really old, he was like, brr, 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 and it came out like that.
Yeah, I love just using a few tools. It's just relaxing just to not think about it and see what happens.
I don't know, Neela, if I didn't think about it, I'm not sure it would come out as beautifully as you. Sorry about that.
Well, of all the pieces that you showed us in the past, this is a complete work of art, I think.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. It reminds me of a Matisse. Matisse would do something like this if he.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, the other pieces have been like postcard size. And I just decided to do a bigger piece,
Good.
see what
Good.
happened.
and
So
That's
what
this
good.
size?
11 by 14.
That's
Oh.
excellent, Neela.
Yeah.
That makes it a work of art, which it is.
So it gave me a little bit more room to play with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
you could put that in the nostalgia and say, remembering Matisse,
that's a good idea.
thoughts of Matisse or something like that, because
Yeah.
that's a beautiful work of art, as you say. Lovely.
Well,
So I
another
was
thing,
using different kinds of paper, some handmade paper that I cut up and paste paper, and it was just a lot of fun to do.
your play with shapes is spectacular. I
Yeah.
mean, to have
That's
that
true.
forky shape inside the triangle with the little tiny triangles in it is brilliant. It's just dynamic. It mirrors each other. It's spectacular. I
well,
love
that
it.
triangle theme runs through the whole piece.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it
Mhm.
does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
except
It's
for,
fun
except
how
for
it's
the, except for
breaking
the
through the.
intestines there.
The squiggly, yeah, right.
It's,
That
it's
was
fun how it's
leftover
breaking out of
dinner.
that.
You know what? So, Neil, another thing I noticed about it too is the way that you go outside the boundaries a little bit.
Yeah,
there
I
with
saw
the-
that. Yeah.
You know, that seems to be, we just saw this Jasper Johns show and he was doing a little bit of that, and
Really.
that I'm going to talk about that, mention that later, that Emma Amos, amazing photographer. She did a little bit of that.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
But this is really cool. I really like it.
Yeah, really
I
good,
like it
Neela.
too.
Well done, Neela.
I have
Right.
to get down to the museum and see those two shows before they leave.
Yeah,
The
Mhm.
Whitney is doing another part to the Jasper John show.
right.
Yeah, so that's fun. Thanks, everybody.
Well,
This
thank
is
you,
great.
Neela.
This is
Thank you,
it.
Neela. It was very good.
Very good,
Larry.
Neela.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Neela, that's a winner. That should go in a show somewhere.
Yeah, it should, Neela.
One of these days,
No, well, very soon, I hope.
I just have to remember.
Yeah, but don't forget,
That's right.
life is short, you know.
We won't let you forget. We won't let you forget.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see, Ted, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure.
He's not.
I just wanted to show you 3 pieces that I'm starting to work on. And so they're just very early works. I just wanted to share them. What I'm trying to do is just use as little colors as possible. So that's
Oh.
what I'm playing with. And these are not finished at all. They're just
That
experiments.
is so relaxing.
Wow.
Cool.
It's so calming.
It
It's
looks-
very dreamlike.
It
It
is.
is.
It's really very calming.
And it
Cool
looks,
in multiple senses of the word. Cool.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, a finished piece. I mean, I'm sure there are things you can do to this, but my God, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
I
well,
see shooting
I
stars.
I work on it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I see shooting stars in the heavens, you know, when you see the stars and the lights and, I guess I'm strange.
Yeah,
Ah,
also,
Not at all.
No, not at all.
Unique, but not strange.
Heavenly. Could be a title for this, Heavenly.
Heavenly, yeah.
Something else, Ted, I think you've done in many pieces, just your forms should naturally shape what I would consider a 3-dimensional sculpture. I mean, I can see this standing inside a courtyard of a building, for example. You have your base and you have your swirling form and shape and color. So in 2 dimensions, for me, you manage to create a 3-dimensional reality. So I love it. I really
Ted,
do.
you know, your work really should be shown room size.
Oh, God.
There is no printer that you have
Yeah.
that would be big enough, or, you know, I mean, it has to be a big thing that takes up the whole room.
Well, it'd have to be a
Make-
projection of some kind of a projection.
Yeah.
Right.
It would
exactly.
make a nice statement.
Oh,
Yeah.
it would. It would. It really would.
Ted,
you
are
have
you
a big-
working with whites in this one?
No.
Okay.
Remember,
It
this is all digital, so.
Okay.
The
just-
colors look a little different than some of your other pieces.
Oh, yeah, well, as I said, these are in progress, so I'm experimenting right now.
Got it.
Well, I think this is finished.
I think it's done. Yeah.
I think
like-
it's done. Don't do anything more.
Oh, there's another good.
Wow.
color.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sharp.
I think you're
that's
using
cool.
the color to introduce light, almost as if there's a light shining.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a nice thing about seeing it on a screen, for sure. I know that I've seen in the art magazines, there are exhibitions by artists, digital artists, and they actually, one artist had 12 monitors in the gallery
Mhm.
and one image on each monitor. I mean, that's,
Wow.
I guess you have to get a Guggenheim grant to afford something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. It's expensive. I never thought of that. Yeah.
But that would be the ideal way to show a digital image.
Yeah.
And here, this is what you, Bob, somewhere in the past, you were asking, well, monochrome, this, you can consider this monochrome. It's all
Right,
shade.
variations of one color.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know if I'm gonna keep it that way, but I'm just playing with it right now, so.
Ed,
uh,
can you,
And this one may be a little bit crazy because I'm still experimenting with it, so. This last one, wherever it is.
Ooh.
This one,
Oh,
Ah, that's a nice big piece, isn't it, Ted?
yeah, so I don't know where this is going, but this is, again, I'm just playing with a couple colors.
I see a fish.
Oh, God.
Ed, Ed, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. I mentioned before, briefly, I've been reading about temporal projection, and I'm finding it very interesting. I certainly don't understand it, but your images to me are an example of that, where you, in your mind, you can see this and represent it.
Oh,
Where I don't know, maybe you're looking at a desk and you look at the desk, but you think of this. I'm not saying you do that, but that's what temporal projection is, where a human being can pre-visualize something. And I find it fascinating that even though to me, all of your images are similar in a way,
yeah, sure.
but also very different.
Right.
And to me, at least where I am in understanding this, it's a real example of temporal projection.
It's called temporal projection. Wow, I'm gonna check that out.
Hmm.
Yeah, me too.
I
It's
can
being
check out
studied.
the,
Temporal means time.
What's the point? It's
in
being
other
studied by,
words, he's projecting something from his mind onto the paper. Is that what you think? Is that what it means?
he can see it in his mind
Oh,
before he put it on paper.
I
He
see.
can pre-visualize what it will look like. Or at
I
least the
see.
beginning of it. They're
I see.
using scientists are studying this now because they're trying to understand how human beings do this so they can teach robots how to do it for interstellar space if they land on an inhabited planet and be able to communicate with the inhabitants.
But we don't know if Ted does it that way.
No, I'm just saying, to me, that's an example of how the mind works.
So what I'm seeing here,
Yeah.
inspired maybe by what Sarah's presentation, I'm seeing the lower torso of a woman with a bikini bottom.
Oh my God, it's sort of, that
I'm
is
seeing the same
temporal
thing.
projection. I'm telling you, that's what temporal projection means. I see a fish, she sees a woman
I see a bird.
in a bikini.
She has see her the oh well. Does
No,
anybody else see
totally,
that or
Ron.
not?
I see it.
Well, that's nice, Ron, that you have this image then.
Well, it almost looks
Must be very
intentional.
comforting.
Ah,
It's just, it's so perfect that way that it just,
Yeah.
it's
There
like,
you
how is that an accident?
go. Yeah.
But no,
So-
it looks great.
Yeah, it's
So-
very, very good. Yeah.
Well,
So-
and we've all talked about it already, but your use of color is very unique.
Mm.
I don't think I know anybody in my experience who has had the touch with
Mm.
taking a color and using it in such a spectacular way.
That's true.
Yep, I
Thank
really
you very
do.
much. I appreciate it because that's my focus color.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
variations on a color.
yeah.
Ted,
Yeah.
Ted, so I'm going to do just the, I was going to say something about this later, but like we went to see Jasper Johns, but we have a friend who's a docent there and we had to wait. And so she sent us, she said, you really need to see this Emma Amos exhibit. And she's a colorist. And she's a Black woman and some of her stuff is kind of political, but the art's so good
yeah.
that it doesn't come off as abrasive. It just comes off like I mean, it's really cool. But one of the things that she does and is that, you know, there's some images of like women bathing
Uh-huh.
and their legs are different colors, you know,
Wow.
very subtly. I mean, it's from the same palette, you know, but
Hmm.
it's, there's so, and you're like, who would do that? Why would you do that? You know? And then maybe that's another reason I saw what I saw in this last one too, is because it's similar, you know, one leg was a little different shade than the other leg, you know, and
Oh, I
she
see.
does that stuff too. And it's just, yeah, I really, really recommend that. Emma Amos is just,
Emma Amos.
she died in May of 2020. She's a contemporary,
Oh.
and,
Oh,
but her work is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think that all of it would go in their permanent exhibit, but probably they'll have to pick a couple to go in their permanent exhibit because it's just so incredibly good.
Yeah.
So we went for Jasper Johns. We were actually more impressed by, oh, he's really impressive, but so it's hard
Oh,
to
yeah.
say that, but Emma Amos was on a par at least.
you've got a lot of research to do,
Very
Ted.
nice.
Temporal.
And color, I mean, that's part of the theme of the show. It's something, color is in the name of the show. And
Mhm.
when you first walk in, you see these kind of bright colors. But then when you start looking more closely at each piece, it just, her use of color and her, everything she did. She did a little bit of what Neela did where, you know, she has a statue and
Mhm.
then it extends into the frame. And some of the frames are fabric and they're you know, they're like, you know, how Bob Moore does his frames and the frames are
Yeah,
almost as
yeah.
important
Yeah.
as the rest of the work. And that's true of hers too, you know? And so I've said enough. I don't want to.
Yeah, thanks for
Go
telling
see
me.
it. Go see it. It's really good.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and Ted, is an interesting week for you, reducing the number of colors. The
Yes, yeah.
3 images you showed were strong.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Kim, have your images loaded
Yes,
yet?
yes, sir, they are there, yes. I want to introduce what I'm going to do today by telling you that I was fortunate enough to meet Mick. And that's an important thing for what we're doing today because I'm doing urban grunge.
Oh,
Yay.
So I looked up grunge to make sure it wasn't just something that we used to say in England, but it really is a word and it means trashy and rubbishy
Mhm.
and horrible. And that is James Toogood. That's what James Toogood introduced me to. And Mick, whom I met on Saturday at the Plastic Club going to see the Nostalgia exhibit, Mick, believe it or not, is taking a course with James Toogood.
oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
right now he's taking a course.
wow.
So
Yes.
Bob, the other thing I wanted to mention is that since we can only show 3 things, I'm going to start grouping what I show you into themes. And that's why today's theme is urban grunge, unlike next week's, which will be Chinatown, and another week's, which will be something else.
Cool.
So
I think
again,
that's a great
the i-
idea, Kim.
the
That's a great
idea is-
idea.
I
yeah,
like
so,
that.
so this is trashy, rubbishy, things that you would never think would be art. Well, is it? Tell
Well,
me.
Oh,
it's a great palette. It's a great palette for the graffiti.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And in your hands, yes, it is. So that, to answer that question.
Well, if it wasn't for James Toogood and Mick, I never in a million years would have taken this shot. Not ever. It wouldn't have entered my brain.
Wow.
So
It's vibrant.
It is.
Yes, good word.
Yeah.
love colors.
And
Well,
that
it's
green
alive.
dot, the green dot on the truck in the center.
Yes.
yeah, you know, the truck was actually behind me trying to enter the alley. And I didn't know why there was this beeping behind me. Beep, 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 beep. So I finally turned around. There was this massive truck. And so I moved aside and saw it was lime green, which, you know, I love green. So waved it past and took a picture of it. And I have a nearer one, but it blocks the whole thing. So
Huh.
I took the far shot of the green truck.
Yeah.
I think it makes the shot actually. It gives it a nice counterpoint there.
Yeah. And I love all the graffiti
Yeah.
down the alley.
Yes.
Well, you know, this is James Toogood. I think if apparently he's still alive. He's giving courses at PAFA. And I'm sure if I went up to him and said, you inspired me to take this, I never would have done it. Never.
Oh, that would be fun.
I would like to tell him that.
Yeah.
And he might say it's crap.
Kim,
I don't think
what is his name again?
James Toogood. And the person who introduced us to it is Mick. I asked him, I said, Mick, were you the one that's mentioned James Toogood in the Zoom session? He said, yeah, that was me. And I'm taking a course with him right now.
Hmm.
Bob, you probably don't remember. It was in one of your emails.
Yeah, I remember it was, I thought it was Susan that mentioned him. I think Susan had him as a professor.
Did she? Maybe so.
I don't know.
Well,
But let me point out the upper left quadrants, the amount of detail with the air conditioner and the pipes and the,
Yeah,
it is a very rewarding, it is a piece you can get lost in. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
And I'm going to add to that, on the subtle side of that very exclamation is the puddles and the way you dealt with the puddles. I think they're beautiful. They're beautiful spots.
well,
Very
I
nice.
can honestly say that James Toogood is in my head and it was really his shot.
Yeah, very nice.
Honestly, that's how I feel. Because it
I-
wouldn't have entered my head.
Kim, I love the repetition of the rectangles.
Yes.
The ones that pale yellow one in the street
Yes,
and it's
yes.
half covered by blue. And
Yes.
then all the balconies are like rectangles, but on a slant.
Yes.
Very nice.
Well, it's very intense one-point perspective, you call it,
Mhm.
one-point perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and the little red stripe on the sidewalk with the white stripe in the foreground.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Everything's pointing at that truck.
It is. It is.
Well, my
Definitely
second,
find beauty. There's more than flowers that are beautiful. This
yeah, well,
is
that's what I'm
beautiful.
saying. I'm saying that because of this Zoom group and because of Mick and because of James Toogood, I am seeing the world in a different way. And
Oh,
it's opened up such a huge amount of art that I can, access. So it's really rewired my head. That's how I
It's
feel.
wonderful.
you know what? You know what, Kim? We can see that in your work.
Mhm.
Yeah, the brain's totally.
There's been a
different.
shift.
I really have. I mean, I really have shifted.
Mhm.
And now I'm wondering if I can go back to the country.
Why not?
Should I do that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll have to look at trashy stuff there, won't I?
yeah. You'll have to
I'll have to go
find,
to trailers and, dogs and,
The,
know.
on
you know
the
what I'm
left,
saying here.
on the left side of your piece, right directly over the green dumpsters is a
Uh-huh.
black shape with a beautiful graffiti on it.
I
Oh.
know here,
Wow,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
pretty cool.
it really is. Yeah.
well, guys, we got to move on. So and now you're going to
No,
tell
wait,
me
wait.
the next.
Kim, one thing too is the balance, the red on the right, with the red on the left,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
the
yes,
middle
yes.
point is
Here,
the green dot.
here, and
Yeah, it's
here.
nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
then you've got that red stripe in the front foreground, but then you've also got a red stripe on the right to the right of the truck.
Yes.
It's just, the more you look at it, the more you see here. It's really
Yeah.
nice.
That's true. Yes.
True.
Well, that's what happens when something else enters your head and your brain is rewired.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, guys, now the next one you're going to tell me is ordinary, and it's called City Ordinary, but I'm going to be blabbing on just a tiny bit to say, no, this isn't ordinary. So this is definitely James Toogood, the next one, okay? This is definitely, it's James Toogood. The reason I say it's called City Ordinary, but it's not ordinary, because I was thinking about this, and this is the kind of thing that James Toogood would do, is that you could not see this in Tel Aviv or Buenos Aires or Calcutta or Paris or the West Coast of the United States. This is very urban American, and it is
Right.
ordinary.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do you
like
think?
this one very much.
yeah, I do too.
Who
I
said
love
that?
the figure in the lower left.
Yeah.
That figure is there, and the light pole. And
Yeah,
She really balances it out, having that figure right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, there's a flow to the movement as that figure is walking forward.
Mhm.
And it looks like a bridge or slats that she will be going over to cross to the other side. It's really nice.
A tublet right here.
Also, there's no question that your use of color in both of these so far, however you enhance the color, it was sensitive to the environment. So it's not too extreme to be outrageous, but it's too extreme to be outrageous because it's beautiful.
yes,
And I love it.
Mhm.
I love what you've done with the color, the city colors. I love it. I really do.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I really thought people would say hands down because the other one was so extreme. Okay, so my last one is again is grunge, and it's a laundromat, and I collaged in a green truck, bright green truck from my neighborhood in New Milford, because I see all the cars in Philadelphia are white, black, or gray, and you will get the occasional thing. So I
Mhm.
collaged in this bright green truck. That's what I do. I take pictures of colored vehicles, and so this is really urban ordinary, isn't it? I mean, this couldn't be more
Yeah.
grungy if you tried. But I brought in the truck to add a little bit of color as far as the vehicles are concerned.
you used a car in the past.
Oh, many. That's what I do all the time. I just took a bright yellow car on Sunday, which I'll be showing you another time. And I took, yeah, that's what I do. And I had a lemon yellow truck, if you remember from the summer, and a red Chevelle from the summer. I take pictures of cars, not because of their Maseratis or Alfa Romeos, but just because of the color. And I love the color of that green truck, so I popped it in.
And having the straw coming out of the back in an urban scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put that in a few that I'll show you next week in Chinatown.
Right. Yeah, it's a great touch. It really is.
I don't know if you're aware of it, but that particular truck, I think it's something like a 55 or 56 Chevy. Those are
The truck?
classic. They're
I don't know. I don't know if that's.
classics now. You can't get them.
No. I mean, are you sure? Because it looked like a new vehicle when I came upon it.
Not to me.
No, it's old.
Maybe it was recolored. Maybe it's an old
They've been
truck,
repainted, yeah.
repainted. Yeah,
Yeah,
repainted,
yeah.
yeah.
I
Restored.
just wanna know,
Yeah, maybe so. But
where is he delivering that hay? Where is he taking that hay in the
well,
city?
remember that's up there. That's in
For
Susquehanna
lunch.
County. Now, but what's he doing? What's he doing in the city with it? Well, I don't know. He's just a geek in the city. He just ended up
Where is
here.
he taking that
And he's
hay?
bewildered. He's bewildered because you don't see stuff like that up there.
Mike wants to know where the driver is.
Right. That I knew someone would ask me that. I think he just left the car and went to CVS next door is what I think. Or maybe he went to Rita's for an
Yeah,
ice
he's-
cream.
Right.
Okay, I'm done now. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Very
Urban
nice.
Run.
That was
Nice,
fun.
nice showing. Nice
Thank
triplet.
you.
All right, Ron, do you want to go?
I have nothing to share tonight, Bob. Thanks, though.
Okay. Ken,
All right, I have a few things to show. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. All right.
Ooh,
Oh,
good
The
heavens.
underwater scene. Well, what I'm going to show, I have very little to show tonight, but I wanted to show this place card from a show I had back in 1010. And I said, good fortune, a watchful presence, and the emergence of surfacing of our captivating social landscape inform my art. For me, the moment-to-moment unfolding of the commonplace flows with a powerful aesthetic and a beguiling significance. Practicing what I call intentional looking guides my passion for the art of photography. I view the juxtaposition of geometries and synchronistic happenstance of our everyday life to be noteworthy subjects of my art. As Henri Cartier-Bresson said, to take a photograph means to recognize simultaneously and within a fraction of a second both the fact itself and the rigorous organization of visually perceived forms that give it meaning. It is putting one's head, one's eyes, and one's heart in the same axis. As I see it, photography in all its forms is the perfect medium to share these phenomena with others. And I could read the last paragraph, but that's not important, the sentence. The reason I'm reading that is because of all the photographs I've ever taken in my life.
Wait, Ken, that's
Yeah.
a really good statement. That's
I was
really
going to
fun.
say, that's really
Yes.
good. It's very hard to put
Yes.
into words
Thank you.
or
Appreciate
to
it.
comprehend what it is one does. And I think you did that very well,
Oh,
Ken.
thank-
That's a hard thing to do, but something we have to put on our resumes, isn't it?
Well, I appreciate that, and I did work hard on that, and the show that I had for this was probably one of the first shows I ever had, and I found myself hunkered down thinking, how can I explain this to anybody?
Mhm.
And maybe I did it, and I appreciate your work.
Yeah, I think you did.
Well, Ken, maybe you could help me work on my artist statement?
Exactly. I mean, everyone has to have an artist statement, right?
Sure.
And it's
sure.
very hard to put it into words, but I think you did a
Tell me
good
about
job.
it. Tell me about it.
I think I'm going to copy this one.
Hey, wait a second,
Yeah, I
Ron.
will.
It's copyrighted. It's copyrighted. No, I appreciate everything you're saying and feel the same way you do. I mean, I had certainly read a ton of artist statements prior to writing this and tried to figure out how I would express what I felt I needed to say. Now, this was a poster, and this was the photograph that I had on the poster.
Oh, I
Which I'm-
remember that
I
photograph.
remember that shot, actually.
And I'm going to show it to you again for a good reason. And I think it's right here. There it is. Okay.
No, not that. Yeah, that's a beautiful
yeah.
shot. That's gorgeous.
Oh, wow.
That is
This-
so beautiful.
Thank you. This photograph has always represented to me in my oeuvre as like some kind of a pinnacle of street photography, because for a lot of obvious reasons, but one of the obvious reasons, and I specifically, I think it's here. No, it's not there. Hang on. It's right, where the hell did I put it? Hang on. Is it here? Here? Oh my God, where the hell? There it is. Okay.
Yes.
I sort of blew that presentation here, but if you look at that, if you look at the yin yang sign and you look at this
Yes.
photograph,
Oh, yeah.
it fits in every area,
Beautiful.
both graphically, socially, interpersonally, racially.
Sure.
And when this kind of thing happened in front of me while I was being a photographer, it's one of those moments I said, man, am I glad I'm a photographer, because, you know, there were hundreds of people walking around here. I was probably the only person looking at this couple
Mhm.
and
Were you
paying
looking
attention.
from on top? Were you
Yeah,
somewhere?
I was up high, and that's what some of these other pictures are. I wanted to show you.
Yeah, because,
This is the an old Roman amphitheater in Paris, in the and you can, I won't read it, but it's in the Latin Quarter, and I have a couple different pictures of it. That's what it looked like as a model. This is the overview, and I was staying in this hotel, and they were on that bench. Whoops,
Oh,
oh,
didn't mean to do
Wow.
that.
wow,
So
wow,
I shot them from that bench.
wow.
I mean, from that window.
Wow.
But the idea of spending time, I mean, I have virtually an entire roll of this couple. And they were in all different kinds of positions and all different kinds of offhanded, expressions. And then everything came together. And I was in the right place at the right
Yes,
time.
you were.
Yeah.
Lucky
But I think
timing.
I think with his hand like that, the way he's almost like a ballet dancer.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't see someone in America, an American man, being able to do that. I don't see it. I think it's something French, maybe something that a Frenchman would do, but it's not something that I don't think a British person or an American man could do that.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. I wouldn't. And just their entire using the word ballet, their entire ballet of this pose was entertaining unto itself. I mean, I enjoyed watching them be in love and then finally hit this pose, and I was ready. And I mean, everything, the green up here, the beige, the ground down here, the flat, I mean, there was just, everything went right. You talk about his arm.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it can't get much more yin yang than that. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
It's
so
extraordinary, Ken. You're very fortunate
Yeah,
to have
that is
taken the shot.
extraordinary.
Yeah.
The shot for the ages, you know?
I
Yes.
agree. It becomes one of the most favorite photos I've ever taken for all those reasons. So
Have you
that's
shown it? Have you exhibited that particular piece?
well, I did. That was the artist's statement.
Oh, that was in your artist statement.
Yeah,
Okay.
this show I had, well, it's a long time ago now. That was the primo shot I used. And it hasn't gotten old for me. You know, it still maintains its relevance in terms of interpersonal relations, in terms of graphics, and in terms of serendipity as a photographer. I mean, for me, one of the beauties of being a photographer is being out in the world and paying attention to what goes on. So, for example, this was in an era of film. I didn't shoot it digitally. And then when I finally scanned it, I scanned it exactly as it was. I didn't do, the only thing I've done to it is maybe sharpen it up a little or do a little bit of Photoshop work, but no retouching. This is exactly how the scene unfolded. And that has always been one of my prides on the photo, is that I quite literally did not have to do anything to it to change it.
Right.
Very nice.
Well, so thank you. Thank you very much. That's
Very nice
you for
one.
sharing.
Well done.
Hey, Ken, I like
Yes,
the one too, in the inside where that one solo figure that you showed, the one with the It looks painterly. It had text at the bottom and you showed it very kind of quickly.
Did I show it to,
It was-
oh, you're
it
talking
was- It was one of the ones you showed.
this?
No. No. No.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of, something about that seems very
It
painterly.
is, it's a very beautiful shot, actually.
Well, I don't.
Nicely framed by the walls on the two sides.
Yeah.
Well, I must say, for any of you who will be traveling to Europe soon or in the future, go to the left bank and find this Roman amphitheater. Besides the neighborhood itself, which is spectacular, you have this literal ancient Roman Colosseum that sits there. And it's just a beautiful park. And as I showed you, I mean, that's the hotel I stayed in. So, you know, it's, you look out your window and that's what you're seeing.
Is there a McDonald's nearby?
Knowing what the French have done, I bet there is.
We note that like that red circle, it was a good presentation because we were able to understand how you got that view.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the picture of the couple is tremendous, but you're explaining to us how you got the view.
Yeah, because it looked like you were on
Made a
top.
good presentation.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
Because
it.
otherwise you'd have to go right near them and take it from on top, right? That wouldn't have been possible.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, and like I say, it really quite literally was an entire, I mean, in the old days, 36 rolls of film, of 36 frames of film.
Yeah.
I took an entire roll of those folks. I couldn't help it.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
My mother would say, I wonder if their ears are ringing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Janice, have you reconsidered? Or is there anything you want to show?
Right
Okay.
behind you, please show what's right behind you, please.
Oh,
Please.
There is something right behind you, Janice.
I know.
Yes,
That's what I was.
there's something right behind you, Ted, as well, actually, to
did
your
you
right.
see?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, the light is bad, but
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Very
Look at
nice.
that. Wow.
That image looks
I
familiar.
think you started
we
to
saw
show
that.
us that last week.
I
I
Did
was
you,
gonna-
Janice?
yes, because I'm changing it.
Yes, I like it.
Still working.
And I thought Andy made some good comments about why he liked one, why he liked the other, and, you know, that was very interesting. what he said.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting to see who liked which version.
Yeah, but he explained why, which I thought was interesting.
Mhm. Yes. What was it, Andy?
I don't know.
Well, he said he liked,
This is
he thought the
something.
bird was good on one version and not on the other version, or I can't remember what he said, but it was very
Yeah.
good. Maybe he doesn't remember. Do you remember, Andy? You'd have to see them both and we come to the same conclusion.
You know what? Next week I'll show them both again.
And hope that Andy
I'll
remembers
show
what
one more.
he said.
Yeah, maybe it'll
Or
trigger
maybe I'll
something.
remember what Andy said.
Or we can go to the video.
There you go.
All right, we can play it back.
Andy, do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. This is my turn. As a video guy, I have to have a video portfolio, which they call a demo reel. And I just recently put a demo reel together, and it's 4 minutes long. And okay, can you see it? It's white. All right, so this is 4 minutes. This is my demo reel. This is just essentially what I think are the highlights of what I've done.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Andrew Hoffman, and this is my demo reel.
Bob Bonet.
Oh, that's a good painting.
Oh, that's Bob Bonet. Oh,
Those are good paintings, actually.
oh, he's good.
Oh, that's cool.
Excuse me, could I ask you?
No switching seats, the train is full.
This is my style.
This is the sewing line, okay? You have to add seam allowances, all right? So here it comes right on down here. See, here's the amount. I'm picking up the amount there that's here. Come on up like this. So we take that amount out of the garment, and then it comes back over here. And then it moves in like that, from here to here, from here to here, here to here, here to here. You have the front panel, and from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, you have the side front. And you need to add seam allowances on there. The seam allowance that you would add would be 3/8 of an inch. You want to walk the one side against the other and put notches in, especially through the bust area, so that as you sew it, you're easing in. There'll be a certain amount of ease that you'll have to ease in here. See, this dart is not close to the point, so there's going to be a little more ease on this side than on this side. So you need to have a notch here and there, and a notch here, and about there, and a notch about here, and about there. So this all eases in correctly, so it fits you. And that's how you do a French seam. And that, ladies, is it for today. Thanks for watching.
Very nice.
Very nice, Andy.
Great.
Very-
Especially the cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Thank
It
you.
made me smile.
Yeah, it really did. That was very good.
Yes, very good. Who did your animation for you?
He's
I farmed
really
that
good.
out to a company that, Pixar.
Okay, all right, okay.
The cutting of the terror train.
I love that.
I mean, I'm so fond
know.
of the terror train,
Oh, thank you.
but
I gotta
it
do more of
worked.
those. Yeah.
But I missed a lot of the whole story because it's
Oh,
a
sure.
good story.
Yeah, it's kind of the heartbreaking thing about putting together a demo reel is I want to show the whole thing and I can't. They're looking for
Yeah.
highlights.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
it's weird because I'm trying to promote myself as a video editor, and how do you show all of your stuff in 2 minutes and show that you're a good video editor? It just kind of
Yeah.
doesn't quite gel that way. But
Right.
Well, I think you did a good job though, Andy. You
Yeah.
showed a whole
thank you.
range of things, different things all together.
Oh, great.
And
Okay, well that's good.
It becomes a new story.
Mm.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
you're trying to talk about yourself and your style and what you can do. So you have to cut and edit and piece all the highlights together.
That's a good point. I hadn't
Yeah.
thought of it that way. That's a very
Yeah.
good point. Thank you.
Did you make the selections or did you have some input on that?
Oh, well, I mean, it's like your portfolio. You know, it's, you kind of have to figure out what your best work is, which is hard to do. You know, it's kind of hard to decide, you know, because I don't know if what I would pick is the same as what everyone else would pick. you know.
Right.
So I'm just kind of thinking, it's like, all right, well, what stands out in my mind is the most impressive things that I've done, and can I fit that into 4 minutes? So, yeah, it's something. It's more than I had before, which was just grueling over, I have to do this, I have to do this. So now I have something, but I can work on it. You know, I can take some things
Yeah.
out, I can put new things in, you know, it's like a resume where you're just constantly updating it.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
It'll be interesting whether you get feelers from people for your animation skills or your video editing skills, because they're both apparent in that
Yeah.
reel. And I think animation skills might be rarer these days.
I hope so. That sounds good. Well, you never know what people are going to be impressed by. You know, it makes it
Yeah.
frustrating. You know, but
It's stabbing in the dark.
yeah. So I'm trying to get a variety into it.
Yeah.
By the way, I do have one criticism.
Mhm.
I think it's illegal to ride bicycles in the park.
Oh, is it? Oh no.
I love those scribbles of the
Oh,
bike
yeah.
riders,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, as they went in and out of focus and changed color.
Mhm.
That was great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's that's the park right next to where I was working in the city. It's Washington Park.
Oh, yeah.
And what I did was I set up my camera on a bench and I just let it sit there for 5 minutes, and whoever passed by, you know, was whoever passed by.
Oh,
And then I just traced over it one frame at a time to get those effects. And it's much longer than that. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, but I never felt it was quite completed. You know, and then the pandemic came along, and then it's like, oh, people in the park. I don't know what I can turn this into. I'm still kind of mulling it over.
hmm.
But that bit was kind of neat, so I threw that in.
Yeah.
I
This
like
part,
that. I like that part.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That was good. And your mom is a hit.
Oh, great.
Oh, yeah. always.
As always.
With the
as-
scissors, with the scissors.
With the scissors, yeah. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's very
Good
helpful.
luck with it, Andy.
It's
Let us know
working.
how it goes.
Oh, great, thank you. Yeah, oh yeah, well, you know, I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, like we did with Tracy, you know, we all held our breaths, you know, with
Mhm.
that thing.
Oh, right, with the paintings, yeah.
Yeah, my God, you know, a commission without seeing the subject in the nude also.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
that was an amazing task she had.
Yeah.
Mm,
Almost impossible, actually.
yeah.
But she
Well,
pulled it off.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
All
thank
right,
you. That's
has
all.
everybody had a chance to show that wants
Yeah, I
to?
just have a quick question, Bob. I just had a thought and I'll throw it out there. I don't know if you would have any interest in this or not, but one thing that I've seen in these sessions, and it makes sense, is photography of people and photography, I would say portrait photography.
Can you hear him?
And I just wonder if there would be any interest in the group of perhaps learn some insights into how to get results that people are happy with.
Mike, your sound is
We
going
can't
in
hear
and
you
out.
very well.
Yeah. Can you get closer to it and start the idea from the beginning?
Yeah, because
We want to hear you.
hear it.
Can you hear me better now?
No,
I know.
No.
Better now?
Too
Okay.
far away.
How about now?
that's
That's
better.
good.
A little bit better. How
Yes.
about now?
Hey,
Now, what I said briefly is that, can you hear me?
yes.
Can
Yeah.
you? I was just saying the one thing that I haven't seen is the type of photography that I did my whole life, which is photography of people. And that's post or portrait photography of people. And I see it as perhaps a little different than learning how to paint people or paint things, because, I don't know if I'm right or not, but it's just kind of an opinion that I have, is that I've often thought, not often, but I had the thought of, what is the difference between photographing a beautiful woman and a beautiful rose? And to me, in my life, the difference is that a woman has to love the picture and want to marry it. The rose doesn't. So it's a little different. It's a different approach, and perhaps some different techniques. And all of our members have looked into or have thought about it.
You were dropping out at the end.
Okay.
Maybe he
I
could write,
said,
write his thought down and
Yeah, we
Email
want to
it.
hear from you.
Yes, please, please, write it down.
write it down and email it, and then we can all
Yeah,
look at it.
But we also want to figure out what that buzzing is. I mean, I don't know if it's Mike's entirely. I mean, Bob, we got to look into that. Why is there that feedback happening? I wonder.
Yeah.
But we don't have that with Sarah.
Huh.
I
Sarah.
wouldn't describe it as feedback. I would say it's like there's a short in the wire that goes from the microphone and it clicks in and out.
Could be, yeah, yeah.
But Mike, we want to hear what you have to say and we
Yes,
can't
yes,
hear it.
yes.
Okay.
You're
He'll send you an email.
I'll send you an
Email,
email.
right.
all right.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Because Mike, as you're discovering things, I mean, it's just wonderful that you feel so elated by the fact that you're seeing things differently. And then you have these ideas and, we want to hear it. I mean, because it's great to see you and the changes that you're going through.
Mm.
And you too, Sarah. Seriously.
That's true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all right. It's 8:30. Let me do my thing. I have one picture and one video. I'm gonna do the video first. Can you see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. It's a weird one.
Really?
Oh, that wasn't weird. That was very charming.
Yes,
You had the ninjas and the Irish jig or whatever they call the Irish music.
Yeah.
But
They're fighting the virus, right?
yes,
I'm
there
so-
was that.
Bob, in research, you had the R missing. Sorry to say that one little thing, but REA, you left out an R in the
Oh,
title.
I'm embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed because it was such a wonderful, I thought it was charming. It wasn't weird at all.
I'll
The
take
thing
another
was-
look at it.
The thing was actually extremely charming because you had that juxtaposition of the ninjas with the Irish music, folk music. It was lovely.
Hmm. The Russian lab manual.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a few microscopes in there I saw.
All right, and then I have just one image. This is beefcake,
Ooh,
1960s.
Oh, these are real guys.
Yeah. These are
1960s.
photographs from a fan magazine for an article comparing European and Italian epics, sword epics, and these were the photographs. I like. Let me zoom in a little bit because I think I do a lot of texture work in here.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very
very nice.
interesting. Yeah.
All right, and
Are these like 1950s strongmen? Is that what they were?
1965.
60s.
Charles Atlas.
Steve Reeves. No, this was after
Oh.
Atkinson,
I remember him,
before
yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
Yeah,
Steve Reeves was the main one.
I remember him, yeah.
I do too.
Bob,
All right, so that's what I have. It's been a not very productive week. Kim?
before we leave, I just wanted to give you a little piece of information on the subject of copyright that we were talking about last week. You
Oh,
remember?
yeah, right.
Okay,
yeah.
just a small vignette of what happened to me, and I want to share that with you because I've never seen this before. I was watching an art video on YouTube, and an ad came on for some software, online. But that looked very interesting and very simple. You would press a button, and you get a thunderstorm sky, and you press another button, and you got whatever, cloudy sky. So I accessed the link to the site, and it was called www.iou something like that .org. Here was the interesting part. They gave you a free trial, which you were familiar with. Then you pay money. You're familiar with that. But because of our conversation, I read the terms of service. And here's what it said. It's the most extraordinary thing I've ever heard in my life. So you pay them to use the site, right? To do your art or your photographs. Then it says, all the material produced on this site belongs to our company. Anybody selling or using this material will be deleted from the site, will be terminated from the site, and all their work will be deleted.
Right.
So essentially what this site is doing is getting people, without reading the terms of service. The only reason I read the terms of service, which I'd never done before, was because of our conversation, right? I would never have read it.
Wow.
And when you go to use it or show it, they will terminate you and delete everything you have, because essentially you're working for them for free, so they can sell your images. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
yeah.
essentially you're paying
Yeah.
them a fee to work on their site, and everything you produce is theirs. I have never seen anything like this before. And I
Which
forgot
site
what
did you say this was?
exactly. I didn't take it down. I just deleted it right away. But
Oh.
I was going to, if I remembered, I would have written to them and saying, so what you are saying is that I pay you to use your software to work for you for free. and then you can use all my labor and sell it. But if I try to, I'm terminated and my work is deleted. Isn't that amazing?
Very interesting.
So
What's
next
the name of the
time
company?
you
What's the
get
name of the-
anything, read the terms of service.
Sure.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Andy wants to know the name of the company, just so we.
That's what I'm saying. I was so
Well,
angry
was this
that I
Facebook
just,
or Instagram?
no,
or
no,
what?
no, no. This
where did
was
you
an
find this?
ad that came on YouTube while
Oh,
I was
oh, okay.
watching an art video. And it just, they have these ads that come on. And this one interested me because you click a button and you can get a thunderstorm, and you click a button and the background changes, and Ron had used something like that, and this seemed really simple. But because of our conversation, I read the terms of service, which I've never done before.
Right.
And I just wanted to share with you that you really need to do that from now on.
Yes, thank you, Kim.
Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. It
Yeah.
was just a company on the internet with some
Stay
software.
away from those pop-ups.
Yes.
Right.
The site LinkedIn, LINKED-IN,
Yeah.
they have similar terms.
Really.
Where basically anything you upload, they own.
So they own your resume.
Yeah, and whatever you upload.
That's crazy. That's
Can I
crazy.
notice that the feedback has come back?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Pretty
puzzled.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway,
I would just, because Bob, real fast, not that we should do this right now, but in the next week, if we hear it again, if we do one quick pass through where everybody turns their sound off just for a second, turns it back on, we could do a test to see
yeah.
where it's coming from.
Mhm,
Good
And the
idea.
feedback did not exist at the beginning,
mhm,
No,
right?
that's right.
mhm.
It was clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
there were only 6 of us in the beginning, right?
I think all 9 of us we had clean sound with 9 of us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. 2 things are coming up at the Plastic Club. Let me get that up. I know I have it somewhere. All right.
Oh,
All right, there is my 1897 lecture. It's not really a lecture because I don't know anything. This is, let's talk about 1897. It's Sunday, 2 to 4 p.m. And those of you who have some knowledge of history and art history, photography history, I invite you to come. And then there's already 15 people signed up. And then the next day, Monday, at 7 p.m., there's a lecture on Joan Mitchell and Mark Rothko.
Oh, great.
Ted, can you explain who Joan Mitchell and Mark Rothko are?
Oh, they were both around at the same time. She was a gesture painter, and he was a color field painter. But they were around about the same time. She's very famous, Joan Mitchell, abstract painter.
Mhm.
She's considered one of
Gesture painter? Is that
Yeah.
the word you use?
the.
Ah, all right.
Yes, yes. Very, she's very powerful. Her work is very
He
powerful.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. His is more spiritual. His whole thing was color and shape
Mhm,
and size.
mhm.
And he wanted to create these spiritual environments for people to experience. She was just the opposite. She was just
Mhm.
beating the hell out of the canvases, just powerful stuff.
All right. Anybody else have any announcements?
I just have a quick thing to mention. Bank of America on YouTube has a series called Masterpiece Moments. And it's a series of 7-minute presentations by different galleries around the world, choosing one of their collection. And that's how I was introduced to Joan Mitchell, was on the Masterpiece Moment, sponsored by Bank of America. So on YouTube, you put Bank of America / Masterpiece Moments. You go to all the galleries around the world, and the director says, we have a collection of Diego Rivera, and I would like to introduce you to blah, blah, blah. Frank Stella, Joan Mitchell. I mean, that's how I was introduced to all these painters.
Right.
And it's only short, 7 minutes. So you can do it like just before dinner, or, you know, when you're going somewhere or something. It's very, very good. Excellent, really excellent.
What is it called again?
Masterpiece Moments.
Okay.
But you have to put Bank of America / Masterpiece Moments.
Okay.
And they go to the
And
Chicago
YouTube.
Institute of Art. They go to, you know, London. They go to MoMA. They go everywhere. And the gallery director says, okay, we have all these works in our gallery, but today I want to talk to you about Frank Stella, blah, blah, blah. And
Wow.
they choose one piece. They don't show you like a 10 pieces, one piece. This is the Frank Stella that I want to talk to you about today. Blah, blah, blah.
What's the bank again? I can't believe
Bank of
it.
America.
Bank of America, okay.
Yeah, / Masterpiece Moments. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
I will look that up.
I will look it up.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Ah, you're
in the
welcome.
same vein, Bob, I was on PBS on the computer looking at Masterpiece, and they have Craft in America, a segment about an hour and a half. They have jewelry making with 2 or 3 artists. They have all sorts of episodes on. It's great.
Okay.
All
Terrific.
right,
Great.
good
thanks.
sharing.
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece on PBS.
Well, that's Masterpiece on
Right.
PBS, but this is Bank of America / Masterpiece Moments on YouTube.
Right.
Yes. Cool.
Anything else? All right, let's say good night, all.
Good
Night.
night, all.
Next
Great.
week is
Thank
the
you, Bob.
21st. I'll
Bye.
be here, you know. I mean, it's getting closer to Christmas, but I'll probably be here.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
We're going to be here, not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yep.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Hiding out. Hiding
Yeah.
out.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye, y'all.
There.
Bye.